Hey Instagram, welcome to our online mental health festival, HEAL. Help elevate awareness and learning about mental health. And I'm so grateful because we've had incredible guests every day, musicians, doctors, experts, neuroscientists. And today is a special day because we have a good friend of mine who's going to be joining us very, very shortly to talk about his own personal experiences, to talk about his viewpoints and insights, all to do with mental health. If you're someone that's been going through a challenging time at this time, if you're someone who's been dealing with a lot of other things going on, stick around on this live because we'll be talking about these topics in a really personal and honest way. So I'm just waiting for him to come on live right now. Let me know when you're here, bro. Just put it in the comments so that I can invite you on. Sana, wonderful to see you here. If you're tuning in right now, press that share button. Let lots of people know that you're live with me, that we're doing the online mental health festival. And if this is your first time here, let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. I love seeing what incredibly global audience we have. Where are you, bro? Let me know when you've joined. There we go. I see you. Awesome. I'm inviting Sid on, a man who needs. But bringing on Sid. Sid, how's it going?
I'm Jay. I'm good, man. How are you doing?
It's so good to see you, man. Thank you so much for doing this. I know you've
No,
stayed up really, really late. So everyone, Sid has stayed up. It's 10 p.m. in India where he is right now. He stayed up just for us. Please value this. Please make the most of this. Tell everyone about it for our day in our online mental health festival. And Sid, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm really excited to be here. And 10 o'clock is not that late, guys. Especially Indian Standard Time. We all sleep really late. And yeah, again, like when we chatted last time, and when you said you're doing something for mental health, not only one day but a full week. I think, as what we were discussing before, I think to use our platform for something which is positive and happy is what I'm happy to be a part of, and learn something, say something, and let's hopefully people see some sense of positivity and happiness in their day.
Absolutely. I want to take a moment to credit Sid because we connected recently on Instagram and then we were talking on WhatsApp. And when he reached out, he's just saying, Jay, you know what? I just want to do something good with my platform. I want to help people. And I really acknowledge you for that, Sid. It's truly special. I mean, you're a man who needs no introduction. You're an incredible actor, fashion guru as well. But to want to do good in the world, which is what your heart really is in the conversations we had. And I think that's really special, man. So I appreciate you deeply.
No, I'm a great admirer of all the words that you say on social media to help people, and that's how I was thinking all throughout this lockdown in India. That it's great we have this platform. Even you have a great, massive voice today. I have it all thanks to the work over the years. So I feel it's somewhat our duty to kind of at least have an attempt to give something positive, especially in today's day and age, man. Today hate is selling so much, and no one's spared. I remember you and I talking about it. Like even you get stuff which is there. I mean, actors for sure. I think we have far more easy target, and being criticized is a part of our job at times. Like of course, some people like something, some people don't. But when they get personal, or when it's become a trend to say use your anonymity on being anonymous on social media and just say anything on the comment section, it's sad. So I think here's my attempt with so much of yours to give something out positive on this universe of social media.
Yeah, I love that, man. Everything you've just shared so far has already been so insightful. Tell us about, I know there's one topic we really wanted to dive in together. And I think it's really important that we dive into it together. You're born and raised in India. You work in India primarily. I'm born and
That
raised
was,
in London. Uh,
that was
Sorry?
my mom. So excited in the middle. My mom's calling us while we are live. That's
I love that.
she's like,
That's it. Hello, mom.
she would probably check with me. Are you? Like, yes, mom. It's in the same device. I'm live. So anyway, sorry. He was.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Hello, mom. Hello, auntie.
Yeah.
I just I was just saying, Sid, that, for both of us being in the South Asian community, we were talking a lot about how the South Asian community struggles sometimes with talking about mental health. And I hear that too, whether it's in comments or people who message me on, DM or whatever it may be. And it's tough in the South Asian community to talk about mental health because often we expect ourselves and each other to have it all together and kind of have a perfect life. Tell us about some of the things you've noticed or observed in that area and that you think would be useful to people listening today.
Well, I grew up in a middle class Punjabi household in New Delhi, and which is the northern part of India. And there, I feel we anyways struggle with communicating, especially men. I would say, especially with our fathers. As I grew up, there is a kind of a stigma to not talk about if they're not feeling well, or are they stressed about something. They feel it's a sign of weakness to talk about it, and I think it festers from us just putting so much pressure on our kids in our lives. Like we feel like, oh my God, like as soon as a child is born, we need to do everything which is useful. Everything has to go to a direction of either making a lot of money or getting married, whether you're a man or a woman, and you have no other space to be weak. You have no space to be saying that I'm not feeling up and about today. Why? Come on, go to school or go to your college. So I grew up in a household just like that with me and my elder brother. And it took me, I think, in my mid-20s when I did come to Bombay when I was 21, 22, to actually tell my dad, like, we kept having conversations for the first 6, 8 months. And we used to always end it on just a simple bye, very, very courteous. But, and after a year, I started really missing family and, you're by yourself here. And I told my dad, I said, okay, Dad, love you, bye. And it was just silence, and he just kept the phone down. He was just off. And I'm, Arey yaar, come on. I said, it's normal. Then I have to go to Delhi next time and make him sit down on that sofa and have a chat with him about why do we not say I love you to each other in the end, whether it's you and mom, me and you. And I realized that it's just culturally we're lacking a sense of training, or like nobody's taught us when we were growing up. Nobody's taught us to talk about our issues because it's considered weak, and which is completely wrong, because as soon as I got out of the house, I realized what real life really hits you. Like, I didn't know anybody in Bombay. I was lucky enough to meet friends who let me stay at their houses. We were barely making enough money to go to auditions and do other stuff. And that's where what I learned in the last, say, 13, 14 years, I wish someone would have told me when I was growing up in my teens, or when I even feel it should happen in schools, man. But I mean, that's a separate together. But it has to break. I think conversations like these, or people now talking about it far more openly in today's day and age, is changing. I didn't have anybody while growing up. We didn't have social media. I mean, you and I are almost the same generation, and I wish I had books, or I had knowledge, or I had YouTube at that time to say, hear your talks. And I feel today I'm more at ease talking about anxiety, which I mean, we are the most volatile profession in the world. Being an actor in any field, on stage or in movies or on television, is never constant. There's always so many ups and downs, and sometimes people think that we have it all and we have it easy. But I've lived most of my life not being an actor, at least for the first 26, 27 years. And now I've lived the past few years. It's oddly today is actually it's been 8 years almost by tomorrow that I became an actor. So
No,
first,
congratulations, man.
it's been 8 years. So yeah, it's only been 8 years, and I feel that's what I feel. I think there is so much to talk about in terms of handling anxiety. I think we need to know that it happens to everyone. I think anyone who's saying he's never felt anxious or felt low they're just lying to themselves and to others, and they're just pretending, and it's sad because they feel they can't talk to other people. I think one needs to change that. But I felt, especially like one of your I think chats, which was talking about like if you're wearing somebody else's clothes, if you're living somebody else's life, it's difficult. It's claustrophobic, and I think that's what I see my friends and family sometimes going through in other parts of society, or even say us per se as actors, we have to put up a persona, at times, and it can get exhausting. And it kind of took me this many years to realize it's okay to not be in a great mood all the time. I'm not saying be outright rude, but I'm like, I need to take that half an hour and contemplate before I go and meet people, or it's when I'm shooting, or it's when I have to deal with something that's not gone my way. So I feel, especially being an actor, it's about dealing with failures. It's still working after seeing failures. It's a lot to do with failures. It's not hardly in any actor's lifetime that they would say that they've always had it their way. Everybody has phases. So I think that's where my expertise would come in today, is just to tell people that they're not alone, and everyone has their days, and failure doesn't it's never the end of the world. I don't think anyone's very few unlucky ones really have to go through those situations that one act or that one particular day would define the rest of their lives. I think we put too much pressure on ourselves, and we need to start teaching our kids to deal with the emotions and talk about things, as opposed to always telling them that don't talk about it. It's weak. You just have to concentrate.
That's amazing, man. What an amazing message. Everyone who's listening and watching, I hope you're allowing these incredible insights and just, quite frankly, just the vulnerability that Sid's sharing with, just allowing it in, because I think the overall message that I'm hearing from Sid is that there's no one in the world who doesn't experience anxiety, who doesn't experience a low day, no matter how much money you have or fame you have or followers you have, or whatever any of that stuff we all have or anyone doesn't have. That doesn't change that human emotion of feeling. And I think sometimes we're programmed to believe that when we get to that next stage, when I get that award, when I get that job, when I get that promotion, then somehow this will all disappear. But that's not true. Everyone at all stages in their career, in their relationships, will experience this. And therefore, we have to get more comfortable with talking about it, with experiencing it, because it's not going to just disappear or not going to go away. And what Sid said very beautifully is that it's okay. It's okay that not every day you're having the best day of your life. And to feel...
I think it's funny, taking from that, is I actually felt more anxious after becoming an actor. When I was, I think maybe because I had no point of reference as to what a struggling actor needs to do or doesn't need to do. Then I got into assistant direction. So even a small little job or an ad film or a shoot used to give me that high for the rest of the month. That I
Yeah.
made my rent and I've made salary. Oh wow, I'm assisting on a film now where I get to learn so much. So actually, after, say, oddly, I'm sorry, people keep calling me,
That's
and you think it's late at night. uh, Oddly, after when I became an actor, is all these things started stemming in, because I wasn't trained for it. I don't come from a family where anyone's been this in limelight and a known face. So when people say, "Oh my God, he's successful," and so everything must be sorted. What do you have? You have money, you have fame, and you're working every day. That those are just, I mean, those are something. They have nothing to do with, say, mental health. We have a different level. Everybody has their levels of judging certain situations. So I felt it was odd, actually. I took this many years. Now And now I can say after this many years that I'm somewhat uh, I'm sorry, man.
It's fine.
I'm
Don't worry, man. Don't
I'm
worry.
some
You're a popular guy, Sid. Sid, I was
Oh,
saying
can you
you're
see
a
me?
popular guy. You're a popular guy. You're a popular guy.
Well, yeah, especially 10 p.m. at night.
Exactly. Sit time. Sit time is 10 p.m. I love it. It's
So, but what would you say, like, if you had to give a younger me advice? For example, if I came to you, like, say 10 years ago, I was like, Jay, I'm a struggling actor. I am in my mid 20s, and I don't know where my future lies. My family can't provide me all the financial security. Do I need to have a deadline that I spend to achieve my passion, or is it something I can do to just be more at present and not live in the future? What would you say to kids like me who want to be actors or in any creative field?
yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. I think the first thing I'd say is that the understanding of living your purpose has three elements to it. So
Mm-hmm.
passion is just one of the three. It's passion, strengths, and compassion. So if you really want to live an effective, purposeful life, you have to
Mm-hmm.
find something that has the synergy between these three. So if you take someone like you, you're
Yeah.
passionate about acting, you've
Mm-hmm.
worked on developing the strengths and the skills to actually be a good actor, and you do it because you want to make other people happy. You talked to me about that previously, where you have a desire that your work has a positive impact on people. So when people are chasing their passion, the question I often ask people is, are you also interested in chasing your skills and strengths that are needed to make that passion a reality? Because if you're not willing to do that work and that sacrifice, then it's probably a better idea that you choose something else. And so having that very real, honest look at yourself and saying, am I ready? Am I really so passionate about this that I'm willing to work and train and develop and go through those tough times with no money and less support and less stability? And you have to be okay with that in your mind first before you experience it. At the same time, what I would suggest to a lot of young people is that now's the time to invest in your mental health. Don't wait till something goes wrong or something bad happens in your family or in your life before you start to switch to it. So ask yourself right now, are you taking care of your mental health? Are you taking care of your physical health? Are you really allowing yourself to be in a position to flourish and boom? Or actually, are you putting yourself in a very vulnerable position where your mental health can be affected? So I would say that chasing your passion and taking care of your mental health can go hand in hand. And if they do go hand in hand, you're more likely to last the test of time. What would you have liked to hear? I want to hear that. What was the advice that you would have liked to hear at that time?
No, firstly, absolutely. I think to spend number of hours in working on the craft, on the skill, like whether you want to be an athlete, whether you want to be an actor, a singer, if you're willing to spend that many hours, working on the craft, I think that is more important than waiting for that one break. Because I remember I went into, say, assistant direction behind the camera because I had no clue what a film set was like. And I'm like, and I was lucky enough to be, on a massive film called My Name is Khan with the best people in the business, and just be giving clap and working. And that took about a year and a half of my life. And I actually loved the process. So it kind of also connects you with your passion. So as I said, oddly at that time, I was on a high. I was on a set where Shah Rukh Khan and Kajol are performing, and I get to be an AD. It's only when one gets that responsibility of being an actor themselves and trying to entertain people is where you battle with, okay, how do I handle the situation? Because you can't please everyone, and not that you should not attempt to as a performer, but to know that it'll never be 100%, response or review when people see your stuff or anything, singing, dancing, or being an athlete. So I felt if a younger me would have gotten just I don't know. It's tough to articulate what it would just be somebody from that field, or somebody from just telling you that it's this the next day that you feel is like the end of everything, or this audition is the be all and end all. It's not. Life will give you not a second chance, but I think you can't. It's doing no good to put all that focus or
Yes.
think that, oh my God, if it doesn't work, because you get into a negative zone. I used to get into a very anxious, negative zone, like, oh my God, if this doesn't work out, and I would start thinking about
Yeah.
that weekend, 10
Yeah.
days before, and I kind of missed out my 10 days. I could have done something else. I could have done something more productive with those 10 days. But the anxiety of building it up, before those 10 days, oh my God, it's on the 10th. Okay, I'm on the first of the week, first of the month. Oh my God. But it wasn't productive. I wish somebody would have told me a productive way to use those 10 days pre to any big event of your life.
Yeah.
That has never helped anyone. And I used to be, sweating in a bunch of and nervous, and we still are. All actors are. I think all actors till date, when our movies release, there's an immense amount of anxiety that come in. I've spoken to senior actors, whether you're working for 10 years or 20 years or 25 years. So I think you can't change that situation, but one can only change themselves. And I would be looking for that practical advice for those 10 days before my exam, match, performance, whatever you want.
Yeah, I think it's really important you said that, because one of the things that I've done is I've realized that every time I do something new, or I have a new launch or a new interview or a new meeting, or like, I was nervous before I spoke to you the first time. It's like, and that's a good thing. Like, I like that, and I've trained my mind to recognize that that's actually excitement, that there is a sense of excitement in that nervousness. And that if you start to look for that excitement, then actually you start to realize, oh, wait a minute, I am nervous and anxious, but there's a part of me that's also very excited and like, I'm going to discover something new. But one thing that's really helped me with anxiety is breath work. So breathing and meditation has helped me so much. And, obviously in Indian culture, meditation and prayer is a huge part of your life young. But to really use breath work to slow down your heart rate and to bring down your pace of breath and to deepen your breath, it biologically changes how you feel. And I think that's what's so powerful about breathing, is that whenever I feel nervous, if I'm about to go on stage in front of 10,000, 30,000 people, or if I'm about to go on TV for an interview, or if I'm just walking into a new meeting where I don't know the person, I focus on breathing in for a count of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you breathe out for more than 4. So you breathe out for more than 4. And when you breathe in and out in that way, you just start to slow down your whole body and mind, and you just get out of your head. And my favorite technique, which I was trained in as a monk, but is also used by therapists and psychologists today, is often when you get lost in your head. That's what anxiety is, right? You feel it in your head, like your mind's just going crazy. This technique is known as a grounding technique. It's fantastic. And it's called the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. So when you're too stuck in your head and you're feeling anxious, you ask yourself, what are the 5 things I can see in this room right now? So I can see the ceiling, I can see the floor, I can see the wall, I can see that painting behind you, I can see my bed. And you say, what are the 4 things I can touch? So I can touch my shirt, I can touch my trousers, I can touch my the chair, and I'm feeling the coolness of the table. I have a marble table in front of me, it's cool, but this chair is slightly warmer. And then what are the 3 things I can hear? So you just be silent for a second, go, what are the 3 things I can hear? So I hear my wife upstairs, I hear some birds outside, and then I hear the sound from my phone and my laptop. what are the two things that I can smell? So you just breathe in. What are the scents? And what's the one thing I can taste? And so when you do this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique, you get out of your head and you get into the present moment, which allows you to take a breath and get away from your anxiety. So those are two things that I've definitely used that have been really powerful for me, especially in those before something big days.
Oh, wow. So that's pretty much you're covering all your senses. You know, you're seeing
Yes.
what you're hearing, what you're smelling. So it's kind of calming your
Yeah, it
senses
brings
down.
you back into the present.
That'd be interesting because in most of our say acting workshops, that's what we do. Like a lot of breath work and manipulating emotions. It's got to do a lot to do with say your breath, and you know whether
Exactly.
you're laughing, it would be you would exhale, and you know when you're crying, you would inhale more differently. It's kind of a rhythm. But those are interesting techniques. Now I'm going to use it for my next event.
Test it out.
But
Tell me.
for me as well, I think yoga has been a great help. Recent months, I've done more extensive yoga because of the time that I get, and it's again about breath, and it's different. Like when they talk about prana and yoga, the squat I do in the gym is different when I'm squatting if I would do yoga in it, because you know it's different kind of breath, it's a different kind of strength that you need.
Yes.
And for me, that has technically helped me to just, you know, go more inwards and really observe. And I was lucky enough to have a good teacher as well. So I think it's addictive now. Yes, I do it, say at least twice or thrice a week. I have to, you know, go onto the mat and sweat it out. I feel sweat as well biologically, like when you run things out. Like I use cardio recently now for the last year or so as something to just get all it's not it is not it is not with fitness. Yes, everybody should be fit and work out. I use it works out for me. But I feel once people realize that, you know, your body, if you can't control your mind, I can control my body, and eventually my mind will hopefully follow. So I'm all for, like, you know, hitting anything, running, cycling, and just consistently sweating, and it kind of relieves all the anxiety. I tend to have a lot of anger that I hold on to with different situations or you know, my dealings, and I feel that kind of calms me down. I'm addicted to sweating every day, because otherwise I would break. You know, otherwise I would go on set and I would be in a different mood. I need to be little different. So I feel it is important to go through your body as well. It is connected. I feel it's very difficult for me purely to control my mind. So I kind of use my physical, you know, body aspect to relax, whether it's, you know, your spine, or whether it's your muscles, or whether what you put into your body. I mean, it is the most typical thing to say that yes, you should work out and be fit, but it is scientifically true. You can't deny that. So people need to know that it's more to do with just fitness. If you do it long enough, I think you'll see the magic that happens if, you know, your body is holding lesser amount of weight or water, or if you just look good and you see yourself in the mirror and you'll feel happy there and then. So I think breathing, and I would say breathing and fitness was something that I use as well, but in different methods. But I really like your methods. I'm going to steal that and try it in my next event.
I agree with you. I agree with you with exercise. I think that's such an important message, because we think that exercise, you do it because it's how you care, how you look. But actually it's not. What you're saying is so true, that exercise is about how you feel. And we all feel better when we exercise. It's not about looking a certain way or having a certain body or it's not about that. It's about really feeling different, and exercise boosts your mood. And the 4 habits that I recommend everyone does every day come in the form of the acronym TIME. And I'm mentioning this because Sid has mentioned 2 of them. So the T is thankfulness. So first is gratitude. Like if you have gratitude in your life, which is a mental activity, you'll feel amazing if you thank people, if you acknowledge people, if you recognize people. I is for inspiration. We have to, we have to feed ourselves with inspiration every day. It can be a book, a podcast, a conversation, a prayer, a quote, a paragraph from a book you love. It can be anything. M is for meditation and E is for exercise. So I'm so glad you mentioned exercise, because exercise is chemically shown to boost your mood. And so again, please don't think of exercise, anyone who's watching and listening, as a pursuit for a different type of body. That's not the only reason. The reason for exercise is to feel different.
People don't do it because they get lazy, or they feel it's effort to try and fit into their clothes or something which is more stylish. But no, I think you could be any shape or size, but you must predominantly sweat it out.
Yeah.
I think once you
I
get
love
warmed, it will release some kind of hormones. It's going to relax you, and the benefit would be that you look and feel healthier. So I think but talking about gratitude, it's funny. Again, when I saw this about a decade ago, when I read somewhere through a friend of mine, to just have a gratitude journal, to pinpoint things that you're grateful for, and that worked really well for me in my early years of being, an actor. Even today, I do it lesser now. I would say I have to go back, but I would say I would thank for the simplest and the smallest thing, like thank you for a great workout today. Thank you for this amazing meal. I'm really thankful. Like today would be, I'm really happy that I'm speaking to you on this platform. So and I feel, and I used to do it before sleeping. So right bedtime, and that used to really ground me before I go into sleep, and kind of take all that positivity of the day and have better sleep, which again I feel is of people when you're anxious. I've heard of people who find it very difficult to sleep long hours, and I've experienced it myself. When I'm extremely anxious about one particular event or a day, I would have broken sleep, and I think that's something that is detrimental to your next day. It doesn't let you mentally, physically be ready for what you really want to be. It's actually adversely affecting your efficiency the next day, if you're or the next week, or whatever you're looking forward to. So actually, I would say this gratitude, or writing down or penning it down as to the things you're thankful for, would really help you feel happy before sleeping, and feel more relaxed, which is what we need.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's beautiful advice, man. Everyone, I'm so grateful and thankful on that note to Sid for staying up late, even though he says it's not late. Sleeping early is also very good for mental health, so that's definitely an important one.
Absolutely.
But I want to thank you, Sid, for doing this, for taking part in this festival, for using your platform to spread a powerful and important message. Hearing it from you, so many people will feel inspired and empowered to make a change in their life. The journey you've been on, the incredible success that you've had, but your honesty and openness, you stay so grounded. And I said this to you when we were on the phone the other day, you're super humble and an approachable guy. And I think that that's what is your unique quality. And I can't wait to hang out with you when I get to Mumbai, man. So I'm looking forward to it.
You're the first person that I've met in this lockdown virtually, and I haven't met you in person. So I'm looking forward to that. And again, thank you so much. And you keep inspiring us with your words. And you are using social media, for the positivity that it's supposed to be. Like, actually, coming to that, I remember sending you something of this one particular vendor who got help recently through social media.
Sorry, someone was calling me there. So sorry, carry on. Sorry.
You're a businessman as well. No, so I remember I sent you that text of this simple vendor that got help in New Delhi, which started trending here. A small little dhaba, and it was amazing to see how you can use social media in a positive way and help somebody make an honest living. When that gentleman, one particular man, put this old couple's of one particular location in Delhi. And he's like, no one's buying my food. I have a small stall. And he was crying. He was in tears. And that kind of trended. And after that, I have
Amazing.
family in Delhi who I tried to send as well. And they were like hundreds of people outside trying to buy food. And he had so much work. And the best thing I liked about that, guys, is when somebody like tried to give him extra money, he says no. I said, what do you want to eat? Just I'm just gonna charge you for whatever you take. I'm just not gonna take money. So I felt that is in a country like India. And I would say, and a thought came up which I would want to tell everyone that if we could, as a society in India, in any city, help one such vendor to earn an honest living by just making that trend, it would really do so much good in everyone's life. Like one person like that per week, would be amazing because I mean, you've been in India, you know how need so much help. So yeah. Out there telling people, if you talk about something, try and help somebody in the real world. Yeah, come on. So hopefully we can make a
Absolutely.
difference.
I love it. Thank you,
Yeah.
Sid, man. You're amazing. I love that message, and everyone should go and check out that video. It's incredible to see the impact of social media. And Sid, we're going to do a lot more of this. So I'm excited, man. I'm really, really excited.
Thank you so much for your lovely words
Thank
and keep
you.
inspiring. And I hope to
Thank
see
you.
you soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you, buddy.